Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
Do in 30 minutes. You could be on one of our 45 black and white sand beaches, or perched atop a lush mountainside admiring our stunning coastline, or slicing the Caribbean Sea on a traditionally built sloop, or adventuring off the beaten path, or hanging out with our underwater sculptures, or do nothing at all. Whatever you choose, an amazing vacation is only 30 minutes away in Grenada. Visit www.puregrenada.com.
Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honourable Keith Mitchell says rum distillery project is revolutionary. Details to this story and more in the National Report. Welcome back with the details to the news for Friday, May 17th. I am Sherry Ann Noel. Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honourable Keith Mitchell has described the Renegade Rum Distillery project in St. Andrew as transformational. Touring the project site on Thursday and learning of its various dimensions, the various aspects of it, Dr. Mitchell said it is revolutionary in every sense. The hour-long tour highlighted the structure of the building, work on the installation of equipment, and employment opportunities for young people.
Coming here today and seeing this expansive activity taking place and the level of what is going to be the end product is something that is so special. It gives Grenada, it's another way of promoting this country, because the special product that you're producing will of course be shown internationally, and that of course will be shown as in Grenada. And given the labeling you just mentioned, the fact that you're having the rum with the product cane coming from different parts of the country, is certainly a big marketing tool that you are undertaking.
Grenada's latest rum distillery is the brainchild of project developer Mark Reiner, who is the CEO of Renegade Rum. The project, will produce premium rum from locally grown sugarcane, is considered a game changer in the industry. The Prime Minister lauded the project for its significant impact on the agriculture industry and the rural economy.
This is a real formula that demonstrated marriage and the importance of it for the country's development, and of course impact on our export earnings, impact on economic activity in the country as a whole, and of course so all the things that are coming. The ancillary activities with this Pearls area, this section of the country, historically used to be agriculture, estate. The estate is gone. And the estate gone, many of it have been cut up into small pieces. A lot of opportunity for job potential were lost. And with that, the poverty increases in that in the area. I know the parliamentary representative must be extremely happy. The pressure on her would be lifted considerably so, because a lot of people will be doing different things. A lot of shops, a lot of other business activities will in fact have started being emerging already, and you will see more and more.
Once the distillery is operational, it is anticipated that about 3 acres of sugarcane will be harvested daily to facilitate production. In facilitating Thursday's tour, Graham Williams said most of the equipment for the project is already on island, and within the next few weeks they will be installed, bringing the project closer to completion. 25 Grenadians have already been employed by the distillery, and 60 others are currently employed in the construction phase of the project. More than 1,940 students from 72 schools across Grenada culminated their CPEA exams on Friday, looking forward to attending secondary school when the new term begins in September. Exam began in 52 exam centers on Thursday, May 16th, and culminated today, Friday, May 17th. These centers included the St. Andrew's Methodist School, which successfully hosted its students, despite having experienced infrastructural issues at the start of the Trinity term. Details from Annette Moore.
The CPA examinations commenced at 9 a.m. and ended at 12:15 p.m. on each exam day. CPEA is open to students who are 11 years old by September of the year in which they sit the exam. The test consists of multiple choice papers in the areas of mathematics, language arts, science, and social studies, with each section lasting 75 minutes.
We had a very good year of administrating the Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment. Generally, I think this year was one of the smoothest run exam that I have seen for a long time.
The deputy principal at the St. Andrew's Methodist School was pleased with the turnout and smooth run of events on both days.
So far we have gone very well. All our students turned out for the exam. They were very excited. They settled well into the hall, and so far everything went well. Some of the parents came in, they were here. We had a little assembly before they went in. They were also part of the assembly.
I'm really happy for the students at that school. I'm happy for the teachers. I'm really happy for the principal and for everybody, the parents themselves, because I know we had that concern prior to and wondering what will happen. We had no hiccups there. I think the children were quite settled.
We are expecting 100% passes. Also, we are expecting some of our students to do pretty well. They should be in the top 100. We should have some positions there.
At Woburn Methodist, several students were confident about their overall performance.
It was very great for me because I've been studying for the past 2 years for this day, and it is just a very big accomplishment for me. In terms of the science paper, I think that it might be a little bit challenging, but I've been studying so I think it might be not too much challenging for me. It will be pretty much easy.
I felt shy at the first day, but I wasn't shy. God was with me, and the social studies was kind of hard in a way, but God helped me to do it. So I've been studying maths. I don't really study social studies. So I hope I do well.
I find the maths was kind of challenging, but I find the social studies was very easy. Like the children last year said, they say it was very
Yes, indeed. Good morning to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Hard Talk. My name is Sheldon Scott.
And I'm Devon Romain.
And it is a wonderful Monday morning on the Isle of Spice. A beautiful, wonderful, sunshiny day here on the island of Grenada and the islands of Carriacou, Petit Martinique, and all other little islands and so around.
So many of them around. Beautiful spots to enjoy.
It has been an interesting weekend, lots of activities taking place over this weekend. A wonderful one once again. And but Devon, we're into the work week.
Yeah, it's another first day of work. Again, for us Grenadians, so all the teachers and parents and wherever you are, good morning to you. And we hope you had an enjoyable weekend and the beginning of another work week. We hope the productive spirit is still in you, you know.
Yeah, well, we don't have the information for you all on the cricket yet. We'll get that information for you, but we do have that the General Council of the New National Party, that'll be taking place this Sunday at the Boca Secondary School. I know some individuals had the wrong location. Well, not wrong, but you had the original location, but it's been shifted now to the Boca Secondary School. So that will be taking place this Sunday. So those of you who are card-carrying members of the New National Party and you've paid your yearly subscription and so on, and you are being considered as delegates to the General Council of the New National Party, we look forward to seeing you on Sunday. And then the observers and other supporters that usually come out for the open session. We have with the NNP, we do have a totally closed thing right through. We have the closed session and then we have the open session. Yeah, so we have the closed session and then we have the open session. Yeah, so we expect to see some of you around for the open session, yeah?
Yeah, come and have fun. Come and meet with the leadership of the party, other executive members, and so on, and feel at home. You see, it's one big house. Got room for everyone. So come out on Sunday, right, at the Boca Secondary School. That's in, well, you know where the Boca Secondary School is, most of you.
Boca
right?
Secondary School, let me guess. It's in Boca?
It's in Boca.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. It's just guessing, I don't know.
It's on the top of Bolio, but on the bottom of Bandom. So it's Boca. Boca Secondary School is in Boca. All right. And it's kind of to start somewhere around.
I didn't expect Boca Secondary School to be in Tempe.
Yeah.
Although the St. John's River in St. George, so you can't take nothing for granted in this
right.
place.
So you understand?
The St. John's River is actually in St. George.
Yes. that river I see running river all day.
Yeah.
That's the St. John's River.
Yeah, the St. John River in St. George. So don't take anything for granted.
Good morning to all of you who have joined us on the live. A wonderful morning to all of you, and we hope you had an enjoyable weekend. Sonia, I see you cook something there, girl. Don't put this thing on them on air. Anyhow, let's leave that there. I'd like to say congratulations to all the nation's children who had the opportunity to do the CPA, right, on Thursday and on Friday, right? We hope that all of you give it your best, right? You gave it your best, and we expect good results in the next couple of weeks, all right? So again, hey, we hope to get 100%, right, in ensuring that all of you move on to the next stage of your education, right? And to all the teachers and parents who took the time out to, dedicate their sacrifice and so, with the children to ensure that they were prepared, hey, hats off to all of you.
Yes, indeed, man. And they had, some of them say that it was easy. They find it was easy. Yeah, you're going to see how easy it was when the results come out. You're going to see how easy it was when the results come out.
Sonia, that wasn't shrimps. Forget that.
I don't know. I didn't see what you're talking about there. I didn't see what you're talking about there. Hey, also, we have the young people did the CPA, but on Saturday we had the graduation. And first of all, before we get into the other parts of it, I'd like to say a very special congratulations to our Member of Parliament for St. Andrew Northeast.
Yes.
As I just call it, SANE.
Yes.
St. Andrew Northeast. SANE. So it's sensible people up there.
Honorable
SANE, right? Yeah. So the Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis, she got her master's degree, I think. She's got now in business administration or something like that. Yeah, so she's got her master's degree now. She had a bachelor's before.
Yeah.
And so she's now completed her master's degree. So we say congratulations to you, the Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis. I don't know how she juggled it between managing a ministry. You have your own personal life to sort out. You have a constituency to manage. And listen, a lot of people get tired between the constituency and the parliamentary duties. Constituency is one thing. Constituency is not just the constituency office, but it's going out to the constituency.
Exactly.
It's the funerals that come up from time to time. It's even the weddings and the christenings that you have to go to. It's the sick person that decide that they want to see you before they close their eye that you have to go and visit. And so it is the person that's has medical issues and is at the general hospital, and you have to make some effort to try and assist them. So the parliamentary, though, that's more where you have to be preparing for the parliamentary sittings and the other parliamentary duties that you have to carry out from time to time. when the bills come to you, I'm not talking about bills you spend money on, but the laws that come to you, for you to research and so that you can see if there is a loophole that needs to be addressed and all that sort of thing. So to imagine that she had to deal with all of that and was still able to complete her master's degree. Yeah, we say kudos to you.
Kudos to you. And,
to be studying for a master's degree and run an election campaign and win. Multitasking.
That is the type of leadership that we have within the NNP, especially our women. Resilient, they're not afraid of the challenge, and so they are going out there, all right, and do what needs to be done. All right, and that's the type of leadership that Grenada has.
Let us juxtapose. Yeah, you hear that word in a long time. Let's juxtapose that with the NDC when you had the different people who were running for office saying that they cannot hold a position within the executive of their political organization and still carry out their function as a constituency caretaker.
Excuse for laziness.
They just could not imagine. Kate Skeeter Lewis studied for her bachelor's degree. She also was a senator at the point in time.
Yeah.
So she had ministerial responsibility. She had parliamentary responsibility. She had constituency responsibility. She had family responsibility. And she was still able to run a successful election campaign and even afterwards to manage a constituency and to do all that needs to be done successfully thus far. Yeah? And as testament to both her work and the work of the previous minister, starting as way back as the Honorable Emlyn Pear, this Saturday we had over 20 Imani trainees graduating from the St. George University with degrees. You all didn't hear me correctly. I said that we had over 20 Imani trainees graduating from the St. George University with degrees. Some of them with degrees in nursing, bachelor's degrees in business administration, and so on. We had 20 Imani trainees. Over 20, it's a little more than 20. I'll get the exact figure and the exact areas that these trainees graduated in and that they were awarded in their degrees in. So they put on the nice robe and thing and they walk. The same Imani trainees that saw them out there are trying to give the impression that these are stupidity.
And good for
these
nothing.
These are good for nothing dunce and this kind of thing. Because you have, just last week, this comes on the heel again, This comes on the heels of just last week, government providing scholarships worth $9.5 million.
For over 80 students.
Yeah, to attend university.
Yeah.
And in that grouping, you have there, I know of one lady. She had a tumultuous marriage, all sort of thing. She has 3 children, and she's still under the age of 35. Yeah? And she now has the opportunity. She may have looked at a point in time, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, she may have looked and said, boy, university, you studying that right now, you're fighting up to try and take care of my children. And right now, she has the opportunity again, through the Imani program. She's attending SG right now. In fact, one of these days, we're going to bring her inside here. And in fact, I didn't even ask her, She messaged me at a time and she said, listen, I'm so grateful that one of these days I want to come onto your program and give my life story. I want to say where I came from to where I am right now. I want to come and talk on Hard Talk. I want to tell people. So we have 20 plus Imani trainees. Yeah, the same Imani that some people trying to make you think stupid. The same Imani some people trying to make you think dotish. The same Imani that various opposition forces like to take pot shots at. 20 plus Imani trainees graduated from the St. George University. We didn't say they graduate from primary school, We say they graduate from the St. George University.
Not CCA, St. George University.
With bachelor's degrees. And listen, we ain't stopping there with them, Let her go and get a master's.
Yeah. So many
Let her go and get a master's, man. Let her go and get a master's.
So many success stories within that program. And persons fail to see the importance of the Imani program to our young people. We take it for granted. But now we've seen the opportunities, the distance that our young people can go to achieve, their education and so on, and better their lives. these are the things that we have to continue to commend. All right? And so, hey, kudos to all of you young people and for the government providing the avenue, the ability for the young people, the financing to go and further their education and make betterment of their life.
Yeah, so folks, just remember that. And we have coming up pretty soon, I don't have the exact number. I do not have the exact number of how many will be, but we have a group of Imani trainees that shall be graduating from the T.A. Marisho Community College in a number, well, not months, but it's down to weeks now.
Maybe a couple of weeks, yeah.
Yeah, because it's going to be just
somewhere
in
around
July.
End of June, July. Yeah.
End of June, July.
Yeah.
So we have another group of Imani who are attending the T.A. Marisho Community College, who shall be coming out there with their first degree and all this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And over the years, we've had persons who entered the Imani program and were given the opportunity to go to TAMCC and so on, and have graduated from various courses in TAMCC at the top of their class. People who were sitting at home that didn't have an opportunity, didn't know if they're going to ever see the doors of TAMCC or SGU, and they got the opportunity. And we're not speaking here just about business studies and so. At TAMCC, we have guys that do electrical and plumbing and so on as well.
Refrigeration,
and
mechanical, and everything. I mean,
and over the years, we've had these same young people coming out of TAMCC at the top of the class. Yeah? So come on, man, you tell me that Imani is a bad thing? Yeah? Look at that. They've been able, over 20 of them in the initial phases. Morning, Royden Bihari. Yeah, in the initial phases, we thought it was about 10. But then when Royden did his further research to check out the entire thing, realized there's over 20 trainees that are graduating, because they didn't take into consideration those in the nursing program and one or two other programs.
Okay.
So 20 plus trainees graduating from the SGU who are part of the Imani program. And while that is so, we also have people through the Imani program who are now studying in China and who are in Cuba and other countries. Yeah, some of them at university regionally and so, who are products of the Imani program as well. But you won't hear them speaking about that. You'll never see the NDC come out and congratulate these young people. You'll never see that. After all, these are the people that send all of them home. And we could talk about that further, because, Devon, it's not just a situation. A lot of times we speak about the 2,000 or so young people that were sent home by the NDC from the Imani program by the end of 2008. But a group of people we never remember? The couple hundreds that were part of the GTEP program. You all forget GTEP? Yeah. The GTEP program that were at various centers around the island, including TAMCC in St. Patrick. I think they had one at Boca Secondary School. They had different centers that you had people that were there that were not even allowed to complete the courses that they were doing. And some of them were doing things like plumbing, electrical, and that sort of thing, auto repair. And you had some others that were doing other courses. And these individuals back in 2008, and we don't mention them, we don't speak of them much, but the GTEP program had been launched in 2008. And the people who were involved in that program, because there were different levels, there were the people who went after work, there were the people who were unemployed, there were those who were working and wanted an additional skill and that sort of thing. And these people were also sent home in 2008. So it wasn't just the 2,000 Imani, it was a lot more. You had a couple hundred, under the GTEP program that were sent home. But that's water under the bridge. Right now, working towards developing our nation's young people.
Yeah.
So we have those through the Imani program who are studying outside of Grenada, and we have 20 plus who just graduated. We have a number who are at SGU right now. So great things are happening.
A lot of great things.
Great things are happening.
When it comes to the education and development of our young people. And we must never miss that opportunity to highlight that. It's too important. Show the world. What is being done to help our young people, further everything in life. And so, Sheldon.
6 minutes to the hour, 11 o'clock, huh? 6 minutes to the... And folks, what we're going to do as well, we're going to open the phone lines in case you want to call in while we discuss the various issues, eh? So if you want to call in, the phone lines are open. Go ahead, Devon.
No, a sort of troubling story I saw, making the rounds and so when it comes to the St. David's Secondary School. And an incident that happened a couple of years ago in the school and so on. I've seen it resurfacing again, right, on the airways and social media and so on. But it is so dishonest by those who perpetrated that, and so on. That's the issue where there was an incident in St. David's Secondary School, right, where pieces of concrete and so was falling from the walls and everything like that. That incident happened somewhere around 2015, Sheldon.
It happened in 2015.
Yeah.
In fact, I can say it happened in 2015 because at that time, I was still part of government.
Yeah, and the problem, the issue was rectified and school was brought back to normalcy, and so government, together with the school, and so did a number of things to make the school even much more comfortable, right, for the students and so, right. But seeing that story resurface again, it shows you the dishonesty and the desperation by some people who are willing to scare, right, use scare tactics on our people, especially our young ones and our students. It was very, very dishonest to take a story 3-4 years ago and try to make people think that it is something that just happened. And what make it even more worse, you heard persons on a radio program as yesterday talking about the issue, trying to convince people as if this thing just happened. That is pure dishonesty, and persons who try to use the political thing to I just don't know,
Devon,
man.
See, the thing is simply this, because I've commented on this post on Facebook, and some people tend to use, these days, not some people tend to use, but Facebook is a source of news for many individuals these days. It's a source of news we have to admit that. Social media is a source of news for a lot of people.
Yep.
You could get the news on the plane, the train, the boat, or the automobile.
Anyway,
you get it wherever you are, whenever you want it.
As
long as you have internet connectivity, you can get news. Whether real, false, or imagined, you can get it wherever you are. And I saw the post being circulated, and one of my good friends sent it to me. And he said, boy, this thing looking bad. I say, but you ain't look at the date? He said, yeah, it was posted 2 hours ago. I said, no, you ain't look at the date.
Look at the date.
So what I did, I screenshot it, and I highlighted the date and sent it back to him, because it's from the 16th of May, 2015.
Yeah.
And because I immediately recognized the photos as photos that came across on MTV News back in May of 2015. Now, what that in particular individual and some individuals have been doing is they've been taking articles and stories from years ago and reposting them now to give the impression that this is a new something happening again in Grenada right now. So that isn't happening at the St. David's Catholic Secondary School. In fact, just recently we had the Honorable Member of Parliament for St. David, the Honorable Oliver Joseph, was in studio here with us. He was in studio with myself and Devon. I think it was just last week.
Yeah, last week.
He was in studio with us or week before?
Yeah, week before.
Yeah, the Friday. So he was here with us the week before. And he mentioned that since fixing that problem back in 2015, they have not heard back from the school again. Because the intention is to remove the St. David's Catholic Secondary School from its present location and build a new state-of-the-art secondary school. It's going to be the most technologically advanced secondary school on the island, to build it in St. David close to the Lassages playing field. So to remove the school from where it is, well, not remove, because it's not like you're taking one day and bring it down, but to build a brand new school. Now, the St. David's Catholic Secondary School is special in that it's one of the only schools that's fully under the control of the church.
Yeah.
And the church school board, the Catholic Church School Board. So it is the government who is saying, look, we are providing the lands, we are providing the funding, we are going to build this new school for you. It is up to you to give us the okay to build a new school. And since 2015, we've been at this point where we have not heard another thing. It's 11 o'clock. I think we have a caller on the line. Oh, we lost that caller.
That one.
Yeah, so since 2015, government has been waiting to hear back from the school board about going ahead with that project. We have a caller.
Good morning and welcome.
Pleasant good morning, guys. How are you doing today?
Hey, quite fine.
Quite not bad.
It's a wonderful Monday. I'm happy with the topic you all being raised, and to me, it shows a desperate attempt at those who do not want this country to grow. Now, what I'm going to say, Sheldon, I believe maybe you can verify as such for the links or so. There was a few, I think last week or week before, a story surfaced, right, about Grenada's alcohol consumption per capita. And when I was reading, I realized that was the same story from a few years ago. I don't know if you guys remember when that came out.
Yeah.
And people were commenting and said they did a study and Grenada has the highest alcohol consumption per capita again. And one of NBC's representatives on a To The Point program, I think Thursday or Friday, referenced that story, which was from whenever it was way back when they did that study, and he's coming and saying it on the program last week as if it is a new study. But I always tend to not look at when the people share it, but when the story was written. And sometimes, like No Grenada, if you go on their website, you'll always see the timestamp of when they write certain stories. So people must do their research before we share false information. Thank you. I gotta go to work.
All right, my friend.
Let me say a special good morning to you, Miss Levine, my good cousin. I hope that you're okay. I need to meet that cousin of mine. Anytime I see that name Levine, we cousins, same blood. All are very, very close. Same blood. Once you carry that name Levine, we's family. Right? Nice, good. Yeah. But Devon, you see, the caller raised an issue there of another instance where this has been happening because I even saw one of the folks from MTV News, the former news manager, Siobhan Benjamin.
Francis.
Yeah. She mentioned that this is about the third story that she's seeing that they've taken from years ago and recirculated because the actual updated information regarding Grenada and alcohol consumption is that Grenada's alcohol consumption has been reduced. Grenada has improved in its ratings. In other words, they have seen a marked improvement in Grenada. They've seen less people abusing alcohol. But the other thing here is that the entire thing is based on the volume of alcohol consumed. While Trinidad has over 1 million people, and if you go to Trinidad right now, you can go to a bar and find it full. You can't say that for Grenada. Grenadians like later in the afternoon.
Later in the afternoon.
But weekends. If you go to Trinidad right now, you take a flight and you land in Trinidad right now, there are guys outside the airport drinking Stag and all this kind of thing. You take a trip and you go into El Socorro anywhere, and there are bars full of people right now. So you're trying to tell me Grenada has a higher alcohol consumption than Trinidad? No. The difference is what they are drinking. They drink a lot of beers and wine and those sort of things that have alcohol that ranges between 3-5% going up the way there to about 15%. Well, not even 15%. Well, sometimes a wine could be around there too, going up to there. While in Grenada, the main drinks produced and the main drinks consumed are rums that generally cannot even be allowed legally onto an aircraft. No, we're saying it like it's a joke, but the alcohol being consumed in Grenada is illegal to place on an aircraft because they're over 65% alcohol by volume. So they cannot be legally transported. That's why Rivers and Clarkscourt and all of them make a export brand, one that you could buy in the airport and you could travel with. Yeah, they have to make one that's watered down.
Imagine.
So it's the alcohol by volume, if you read the report properly.
Good morning and welcome.
Yes.
Good morning.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Both and the listening public.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you all a little bit low, but...
I don't know what happened. Let's see if we get back that caller.
Yeah.
Yeah, something seems to have gone wrong with his call.
Phone went ringing.
Yeah, but that's what they're referring to. But some individuals have gone, and I did see Ali Dowden speaking about it last week as though it's something new, that Grenada has the highest alcohol consumption, and so that's no longer the case. Yeah? There has been a study after that. But again, they're not interested in checking the dates or checking the facts or verifying the information. They're just interested in trying to attack the government on what they see as some sort of weak point. Okay, we can attack the government on this one.
You see, and it has been a concerted effort in the last couple of months to bring back or to rehash so many old stories, certain things, unfortunate things that happen. They return it just for them to get political mileage. They have nothing else to talk about.
And the problem, there's a lot of folks seeing these articles, seeing this stuff, and they just share it without checking. Now, if you check my page from the time I've had a Facebook page, I don't just share things. I don't ever post things that I have to go and take back and delete and that kind of thing. Yeah? I have a habit and a history of always checking the information before I share it. I might share something that is a joke. I might share something that you know is a joke. You know it's funny. It's just for fun. Or you're being satirical. I could understand that, yeah, I post that. But not trying to post something to mislead people into believing that what I've posted there is the truth when it's not the truth. I don't do that. Yeah?
That's disgusting.
And this is what these individuals have been doing to the St. David's. Now, they are giving the impression now that the students who are at the St. David's Catholic Secondary School are there. And in fact, if we listen to one of the programs yesterday, the NDC program yesterday,
the heartbeat.
This is what they were getting on with.
Yeah, that heart never beat.
Let's hear what they was talking about with that yesterday.
We cannot wait because look, I saw the pictures with the thing in St. David, and mind you, I thought this thing was probably 4 years ago. You know? I can't believe it's the same situation and come back again now. Yes, so imagine your child sit down doing their studies and a piece of a slab of concrete falling down. Yes. So you can see we getting crazy something and right with us here, man. We have to be able to in the summer breaks. Have the technical people from the ministry of work go around the schools and do the different tests, go around the different state institutions and do the tests.
And you see, this is the thing. They're trying to give you the impression that what you're seeing there is something that's happening. You see the desperation of these individuals. In fact, that desperation went so far yesterday. And no, folks, you could be assured I wouldn't play it. I won't play it. Yeah? I will not play what was said by Ian Django Thomas yesterday on the NDC program about that child, because I think that I won't go into the details of what was said. I don't think we need to go into the details. There's no necessity for us to go into the details. What we will say is this. It is absolute desperation to do what was done yesterday to that family for political mileage. Because what was done yesterday, it is difficult now for the father to walk in public because people know who he's speaking about. They know where to find the image of who Ian Thomas was speaking about. They know from his statement, they know exactly where to find the image of the individual he's speaking about. And it is damaging to the child and it's damaging to the family on a whole.
That's abuse, eh?
I think the best thing to do is to apologize. I think the best thing to do, what a man would do, is apologize. So I don't expect him to apologize. If it is me in a situation like that, I would apologize as a man. But I don't expect apologies from people like Django because he's not a man. He won't apologize when he does something wrong.
You know, Sheldon, when that last clip you played there, when you listen, two grown, well, I can't say men, two grown individual will go on a radio station and lie to the Grenadian people and not to the world about what is happening in St. David's. I mean, think about it.
But that's not the only thing he lied about. I have loads of clips and I could play things. And here's what. I could play the political card and I could take the audio of what he said yesterday and I can play it here today and disgust the entire nation. I could make every man, woman, and child that hearing this thing out there want to stone him when they see him. I could do that. Yeah, and I could put out the images, the screenshot of his Facebook page with the images of what he's speaking about. I could do that right now and embarrass him and gain political mileage from it. But you know why we wouldn't do it? Because in doing it, we are helping to damage a child.
Yeah, destroying the child
and
the
we're
family.
not going to go down that road.
We can't.
We're not going to go down that road. Yeah, we're not going to go down that road. I think it is unfair to that family, what has been done to that family on a whole, not just the child, but the family. I believe it is unfair what has been done to them, and I think that they deserve an apology. And not think, in fact, I know that they deserve an apology. Let's try the phone line.
Good morning and welcome.
Hello, morning, sir.
Good morning.
Morning, gentlemen. How you all guys doing?
Quite fine.
It's a while now I didn't hear you all because I'm kind of busy. I happen to be home today.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to that program yesterday, although I'm hearing you all low, so I'm not sure how clear you all hearing me.
Very clear.
I listen to the program as I usually do. And I remember after that program, I went on to listen to Real FM. And that clip was played relative to the some child issue. Up to now, I don't pick up exactly what it is about, you know. Mm-hmm. Even though I'm hearing you mentioning it here, there again. But I don't pick up what that whole thing is about yet. It seems significant to the extent that Andre allotted Kennedy to it.
No, I think Andre did the right thing. I think he did the right thing in letting people, especially in the St. Andrew area, know what was said, that sort of thing. But he also would not go back to play it over and over again to spread it more. But just to let people know, this is the kind of individuals that want to offer themselves for office. This is what they're doing.
Based on what you're saying and based on what Andrew was pointing out yesterday, it seems like the thing is very offensive in truth. I don't know exactly. I up now to pick it up good yet.
It's very, very, very offensive, my brother. Very, very offensive.
I'll say this, and I've mentioned to people 1,000,001 times by now, I'm not a party person. I don't belong to no political party. Kit Mitchell is my favorite politician, period. Kit Mitchell is the best, beyond measure, way beyond all the others and him. He's simply the best. And I love him. And I can say I'm not a party person. But to be honest with anybody, I'm yet to understand what on earth the NDC strategy amongst two. I'm yet to understand how these people understand politics, especially in the Grenada context. They might resonate maybe in another world, but for sure, the NDC is making. I listen to this, the way of presenting things all the time. I listen to the mentality of the supporters in the expression to me when we have discussions about issues. Somehow I just don't get what they are thinking as making sense. And I'm yet to understand why is it that they're not seeing it too. Because it's not resonating, it's not getting them mileage. They are destroying themselves in the process all the time. I keep noticing that, and it didn't start here now, you know. That obnoxious strategy have been a part of the NDC from time immemorial. I'm yet to understand why is it they're not seeing it's not working. You don't do things like that and expect to get mileage. You are disheveling your own self. Take care, guys.
All right, thank you.
Be good.
Yeah, the thing is, it's like certain statements sometimes yes, there'll be political oomph to gain from it. But at the same level, do you really want to do that to a child? Yeah. Because then I would basically be becoming the person that's abusing the child.
Just like them.
Because who didn't hear it before? Who wasn't listening and didn't hear it before? or who didn't pick it up when Andre put it out yesterday, and he had a responsibility as a media person and a journalist to put it out and say, listen, what do you think you're doing? What craziness you're doing? Because people might have wondered, well, what are you talking about? Same way some people are wondering now, well, what am I talking about? Yeah? He had a responsibility to do that. So he did that. But we're saying here right now that we wouldn't push it any further except to say, boss, you need to apologize. Go and find the family and apologize to them. Even if you don't apologize publicly, go and find the family and apologize to them. I think that was a disgusting thing to do.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning to you, my friend.
Good morning, Mr. Scott.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Romain.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Well, if I tell you, you're all speaking about the NDC. Yes, we have to speak from them, in between. But I'm not even focusing on them no more because I realize that they lose it. Or they have lost it. That's the reason why I want to suggest to Dr. Spencer that he should make a special effort to contact the NDC and offer them some psychiatric care. Because there are so many legitimate issues that they can raise in this country to show the ineffectiveness of the NNP, but instead they continue along a line that gets them nowhere. And as a result of that, they are playing into my political philosophy of a one-party state. But let me say this here. Gentlemen, give me a few seconds. Which government have shown their commitment to young people by the programs, financial accommodation, and scholarship in this country? The NNP. Which government have done more for young people in this country since 1983? The NNP. Which government have done more for workers in this country since the revolution? The NNP. Which government have done more for senior citizens in this country? The NNP. Which government have done more to develop the economy in Grenada? The NNP. Which government have restored Grenada creditworthiness? The NNP. Which government have done more to develop the rural economy? The NNP. Which political party constitution give their members the right to challenge the leadership? The NNP. Which government take action to prevent our economy from going to hell in a handbasket? The NNP. All right. The NNP.
You're flowing, man. Go through.
All right. Now, listen to this. Lately, give me about a minute here. Lately, I find myself focusing on healthcare a lot. I think it's because I work in that environment and I see on a daily basis the successes and the challenges we face here when it comes to how we deliver patient care. And I am convinced that the National Health Insurance will be the foundation we laid in starting the process to ensure our people have a product that's affordable and of high quality. One of the major issues, in my opinion, will be the cost, because we need to understand it can't be free, it must not be free, and it should not be free, and we cannot afford for it to be free. This is the bottom line. So the government needs to come up with a formula that will provide us with a basket of goods and services that meets the needs of our people. And my brothers, these are some of my common sense suggestions based on my observation in terms of the way forward. One, staffing more nurses on the ward so we can handle, and accommodate, the people, the patients on the ward in a timely manner. Two, checks and balances. That is to make sure people make the time and do what is expected of them based on the job description. 3, supervisors must supervise and department head must manage. 4, persons must be held accountable for the equipment and goods in their department. 5, transportation. Transportation must be structured in a way to kill 2 birds with 1 stone whenever it's possible. And last but not least, 6, employees' attitude. People must make up their mind if that's the field they want to work in, because this area requires people with love for people and the capacity to deliver the care that is required. Brothers and sisters, listening, and to Mr. Romain and Mr. Scott, I trust you all will have a pleasant day, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, my friend. Take care.
Yes, indeed. And the one he spoke about, the nurses, we actually have some nurses who graduated yesterday. Now, these are young people that entered into the Imani program. Some of them were attached previously to the general hospital and so on. And through Imani, and because they had the correct subjects, and so because not just you gain Imani and you have no subjects and you're sent, but the Imani works along with you to get your subjects, and then they got the opportunity to enter the SU nursing program with support, and they've now completed. They have their bachelor's degree in nursing.
Wow, excellent. You know, Sheldon, I was sort of equating something as a gentleman was talking last. The young persons of NDC, Tevin Andrew, make a boo-boo when he talk about SVGA. The senator, a boo-boo when he lied about the water in Montreach.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Django,
St. David's Secondary
and others, and the child. And then you have the young gentleman that run against the political leader and Prime Minister, Dr. Mitchell, making that issue about the alcohol. You see, these young people, you all need to take your time. Stop getting involved in a deceitful type of politics, right, that your elders are getting into. Leave that alone. Learn from members of the NNP. Be truthful and honest with the people, right? Don't recycle information and untruth, right, and try to convince and deceive people. Don't get into that, right? It will bring you no way, guys. You're young. You have come and take my advice.
But you know, boss, it's having a big bingo coming up, you know.
100.
Yeah, folks, we're going to take our time. No, 50,000.
Ooh, that's a lot,
the
boy.
New
big,
National Party
big,
Youth Arm.
Yeah, they in that.
Yeah, man. They're having a big bingo Saturday. The jackpot, they have $50,000 in cash and prizes with a massive jackpot and all kind of thing. That's taking place Saturday, the 22nd of June. Yeah, the 22nd of June. That's where that's going to be taking place. Ticket is $40. You could get 2 for $70.
Yeah.
2 for $70. Let's save all your money from now. It's starting 7 p.m.
Wagiti, watch out. You're getting competition, you know.
No, Wagiti.
The youth.
Wagiti working with them.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Wagiti is the youth.
All right. So it is the youth.
So whichever youths from whichever organization approach Wagi working with them.
Yeah.
So right now, they had to look out for that one. That's coming up on the 22nd of June in Victoria Park, Grenville.
Hey, well, in my backyard.
The NNP youth, $50,000 in cash and prizes.
That will make big time.
Yeah, man. No. If I could walk out with a little 10 grand, man. Yeah. Then they have the Marquee Breakfast Village. That's coming up on the 1st of June.
Yes.
At the Marquee Basketball Court. So they have cultural activities and so on. And all foods will be 100% local. Yeah, 100% local. Yeah, boy. Imagine you have 20 plus graduates from the Imani program.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Sheldon. Good morning, Devon.
Good day,
morning,
sir.
my friend.
Quite fine.
Well, Sheldon and Devon, you see something? When you have...
speak up first. Hold on, bro.
Hello.
Something wrong with your phone and you seem to be speaking low.
Yes, any cracking.
Yeah, you can see if you can straighten it and so on.
I will call back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll call back. Any cracking.
Okay.
Yeah. We had the cricky crack. Yeah, so you had to try and sort it out and give us our buzz back. Yeah. So, folks, just a little rehash. Remember, General Council is coming up on Sunday. And also we have the cricket finals. They are coming up.
Yep.
We'll give you some. I doubt it might happen this weekend because of the General Council.
Because of the General Council.
But
so
I can't be sure on that. Next thing they decide to do it Saturday. So we'll find out that information. We'll let you know. And to remember, the Marquee Breakfast is coming up on the 1st of June.
Yeah.
And you have the NNP Youth Bingo that's coming up as well. And St. Patrick's West, they have that green dance.
The green dance, yeah.
That's coming up as well. So you have a lot of stuff
that's in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But Devon, a while ago you mentioned SVG Air.
Yeah.
And remember, there's this audio that they've been circulating, and I'll say they, meaning members of the NDC, activists of the NDC. They have been circulating audio of a purported interview with who they claim is the manager of SVG Air, saying that they're pulling out of the Carriacou run, they're not going to be flying to Carriacou again. Scaring a lot of people who basically use SVG Air as their means. They can't take the boat, they just hate the boat. So they use that to go to Carriacou. And GBN News did an interview with the manager, and this is what came up. Let me see if I can get that to play.
Admits that the airline has... Managing Director of SVG Air, Paul Gravel, admits that the airline has been plagued with financial challenges in recent times. However, he maintains that despite a video being circulated on social media, SVG Air is not considering pulling out of Grenada market. SVG Air is a national airline of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, along with Mustic Airways. It operates 17 aircrafts with bases in Grenada, St. Vincent, and Antigua. Mr. Gravel says the company has been losing money over the past 20 years, and they are now considering several options.
We're not pulling out. The issue was that the company has been losing money for 20 years, and we've been appealing to past governments that we need help, we needed to raise the fares, that we needed some taxes reduced in order to try and keep the fares down, that the Islander, which is made in England, the company in England is in trouble, and if the company goes out of business, we won't be allowed to fly that aircraft, because if an aircraft is not supported by a company that's in business, it cannot be used in a commercial service. And we have 7 of these 19-seat Twin Otters. That is what we really should be using for the Grenada service. But the way it's currently structured, there's no way we can use the 19-seaters in Grenada because the fare's too low and the taxes interregionally are too high for us to work with the current situation.
He says, meanwhile, SVG Air will remain in the skies.
At the moment, we're still going to continue to fly. We have 4 of those 9-seaters, the Britain-Norman Islanders, and we're continuing to provide the service with those for the moment.
MP for Carriacou and PT Martinique Affairs, Kendra Mathurin Stewart, says meetings were held on Tuesday with the manager, and they are now working on a solution to have the airline remain in Grenada despite the challenges.
I met with Mr. Gavel and the manager, Mr. Lendo, at my office at Legal Affairs, and we discussed these issues. But there are 2 things that are on the table. The request for a waiver of taxes for persons traveling between Union Island, from Grenada to Union Island. And secondly, the issue of subsidies to ensure that the 19-seater, if they decide to use it here, would be a viable options. Those options we will be discussing with the government, the entire government, and it's something that I intend to raise and to bring in cabinet for deliberations and for the way forward.
She says it would be a travesty of justice to not have connectivity between the islands.
To ensure that we have this viable service available for the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, it would be a travesty of justice to have not one company fly between Carriacou and Grenada. And so as a government, we will do whatever it takes, whatever we have to do, of course, within certain guidelines and within certain parameters, to ensure that there is connectivity, constant connectivity between Carriacou and Grenada. So it was only yesterday afternoon that we've had that discussion, and I'm yet to bring same to initiate a conversation with with our Prime Minister and, of course, the rest of the cabinet. But rest assured, it is something that is high on the agenda and I will raise very soon.
The parties will again meet on Thursday. Eugenia Peters, GBN News.
Yeah, so we pulled that news report there from GBN, Grenada Broadcasting Network. I think we have a call on the line. Yeah. Let's go to the phone line.
Good morning and welcome. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes,
Hi,
sir.
morning.
Yeah, I called a while ago, but I got cut off.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there it is, it happened again. And I didn't touch anything, so I don't know what's happening.
Sorry. Hello?
Yeah. Go
I'm
ahead.
live, yeah?
Yeah, you're live, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to talk a bit about finance.
No, we're not talking about that today, so you will
What's
not
the topic
change.
today?
Yeah, we're speaking about various things. We've had 20 young people, over 20 young people just graduated from the SGU under the Imani program. We've had, we've spoken about the situation right now where there's various false information being circulated about the St. David's Catholic Secondary School. We've also spoken about SVGA. We just completed speaking about SVGA.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what I wanted just to say is that the $40 million that have to be paid by the state, yeah?
Just told you we ain't talking about that. Fairly understand, because I understand what you intend to do. We're speaking about some things. We're clearing up some misconceptions that Grenadians are having. Also, we are speaking about some positive things that have been achieved by some young people. But you want to change the discussion onto something else that we're not discussing today.
Can't allow that.
That won't be happening today, sir. Yeah? So thank you very much for your call. We do appreciate you, but we won't be entertaining that discussion today. Thank you so very much. Yeah.
You see, and it's so important when the minister highlighted the whole question of the SVG, right? That type of tactics that they're trying to use, right, to basically, to scare people away. Look, another, it is so out of this world by these guys.
Devon, but the next thing is this. I'm trying to understand how these individuals intend to get away with this. Because here it is. They're putting out these lies. They're putting out these false stories. They're putting out this, knowing that HARDTALK are wrong, and we're going to correct it. We're going to say, what is the truth?
Continue to challenge us, and we will. We'll continue to share the truth with the Grenadian people.
Yeah. But they've just been pulling some old stuff and throwing it out.
They have nothing else to come at us with, Sheldon. You see, because we have been honest, we have been sharing things, we have been clarifying things, we have been giving the nation correct information that could make them get more involved in nation building, right? But you trying to tear down, you know?
Yes. The city headline is, Tevin says pull out, SVGA says not so fast. We have a call online.
Good morning and welcome.
Hi, good morning, Sheldon. How are you?
Hey, I'm quite fine.
All right, great. So I'm just calling to give you some updated information. I'm not at the office to share it with you.
I just make
Sorry
a voice.
about that. But it has to do with the cricket.
Yeah.
We are going to have that final game, of course, if the weather permits and we don't have any further restrictions, on Saturday.
So it will be Saturday. Mm-hmm.
We're just waiting for word from St. Andrews South East on the availability of Victoria Park so we can host it there. That final game is going to be between St. Andrews South East, who is the defending champion, and St. David. So it's definitely geared up to be a good game. There is a third place game that is expected to be played on Thursday at the Alson George Park in Victoria. So, of course, our supporters can go out and support their teams. That's going to be between St. Mark and, of course, the Prime Minister's constituency, St. George Northwest. So that is also geared to be a wonderful game. So I thought I should call and just update you on that. The game on Thursday is expected to begin at 7 o'clock, so it's a nighttime game. And the final game, which is going to supposedly going to be hosted in Victoria Park, Grenville, would start at 3 o'clock.
Okay, the one on Thursday is where again?
Say that again. I didn't hear that.
The one on Thursday is located at where again?
St. George Park in Victoria.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you very much, my dear.
You're welcome.
No Javon for you today.
All right. Later.
Yeah, and you see, again, we said the St. John's River is in St. George and Victoria Park is in Grenville. Yeah. But Grenville are also, Victoria also in George Park, but Victoria Park is in Grenville.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have to be careful. Nice? Yes, indeed. And folks, the phone lines are open, 440. We're not going to go off the issues that we've discussed today. No. We had to start some kind of discipline too, you understand? Nice. 440-7377.
And 347-329-3101. I'm Sheldon, we have just missed it again. Station IDs.
Mm-hmm.
Right? 89.5 CRFM. We are live.
97.5 City Sound FM.
92.9 Sister Isles.
Yeah, man. Lisa Marie and I'm going
Yes.
to again.
Lisa Marie.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And We Noise Radio, 94.9 out there in Brooklyn. Good morning to you, Wade. We hope that you're having a fabulous day today.
Yes.
I think we have a caller online.
Good morning and welcome.
Morning, son, gentlemen, again.
Yes, sir.
I'm referring here to the issue of the high taxes that I've heard airline managers and officials been complaining about, that have been putting them out of business in the Caribbean area, especially. Liat is complaining about that. Here we have the airline for out of St. Vincent. The manager made mention of it in his interview. I'm yet to understand why is it that the governments of the area are not recognizing that to the extent, especially as it applies to Liat. Because, as far as I'm concerned, we cannot do without Liat. We cannot do without Liat. And I back the government for taking the part they play in trying to keep Liat afloat. Difficult as it is, because Liat has not been properly managed for all the years. But at the same time, the very governments that own Liat are part of the problem. And it's not governments as politics, as some people like to put it. It's not politics. It's government responsible for the airports and them, because they are owned by the countries where they belong. And the taxes is what is putting the airlines out of business. So why is the government and them not recognizing that and doing something about it? You get the point I'm making?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We really need to look at that simple. To me, it's a simple thing. I don't see how difficult that should be, so that the government should reduce the taxes and let the airlines go afloat. Let them float. Because that has been the consistent complaint. Consistent and persistent complaint. Take care.
All right,
All right,
thank
my
you.
friend.
But we must remember that back in 2017, it was our own Prime Minister of Grenada, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, who called on all the regional leaders to agree to reduce their taxes so that you could reduce the price of intra-regional travel.
Because you must do it. All of them must do it, because if, as I said, if one country does it, it makes no sense, right? That country will be losing, that country will be losing, and the others will remain. So we need, as leaders, as countries within the Caribbean, right, within the OECS, to do it together, so it will have that effect. Less money you have to spend to travel, right? The airlines will prosper a little bit more, and yes, the government will lose a little bit of revenue in that particular instance, but look at the long term. More persons will be able to travel throughout the Caribbean, thus ensuring, more brilliant economy and everything like that. So hey, it's a win-win situation all around.
Yeah, and I'm looking here, I'm seeing an article from the 7th of July. Yeah, the 7th of July, 5th of July, 2017, where Prime Minister Mitchell speaking, and in fact, that's the time he was accepting the chairmanship of Carriacou. Yeah? And in his address, he made the statement to his regional colleagues that they have to address the problem of high taxes for intra-regional travel. In our interview with Senator Humphrey on Friday, he also spoke to that issue. And he did say that, yes, it needs to be done, but remember, this is how some of these airports fund their activities. So the level at which it can be done has to be looked at. It has to be done, but the level is also something that has to be looked at. We have a call online.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Evan.
Yes, my friend.
Yeah, Brother Sheldon, I was saying before I start call back, okay? What we have to understand, big men, we just don't learn from our mistake. In 2013, right, in the election campaign, the same strategy NDC came with, they get whitewash. 2018, the same strategy they came with, they get whitewash. Right? I don't know, you have some big people, they just like leaks. They like leaks. You change attitude. The same thing you come back with, a lot of lies, propaganda, right? And you see continue and just as how the leaders in the NDC lying, just so they teach the train to lie. Well, we said, when you lie, the lie will cut up with you. People get to know you are lying and they will get to know the truth. Right? Speak the truth will set you free. Right? And I want to say as leaders, if we love people, right, we should care about people. We shouldn't try to tear down people, because the people who try to tear down, to that one place, you might want them to support you and vote for you. You have to love people, care about people, and treat people with respect. Right? I want to say to you and see, once you continue to go down that road, it's going to be the same result. Clean sweep again. Right? But I want to say to NMP, as we have a general council coming up in Boca, I want to say to the government, continue doing the good work that you all continue to do, and Grenada will see who really care, who really love them. And that party is the party of NMP, under a visionary leader of Dr. Keith Mitchell. But Devon, Sheldon, you all have a wonderful day.
Thank you, my friend.
Yes, indeed. 440-7377
and 347-329-3101.
Yeah, the St. George Northwest, they're having a health fair that's taking place this Saturday. They'll be having pap tests and blood tests and pressure tests and blood sugar tests, free consultations and so on. That's going to be a Bourgeois playing field taking place this Saturday. I don't see the exact time. Somebody from Northwest call and give me the time. So the St. George Northwest constituency, they're having their health fair this Saturday. That's the 25th of May. So they'll be doing the pap tests and the pap smear. Pap smear, that's right. Pap smear test, blood tests, pressure tests, blood sugar, to see if you have diabetes or high blood sugar is and that kind of thing. Free consultations will also be had, so you could see a doctor, they'll check you out and that kind of thing. And all of this is going to be taking place at the Bourgeois playing field. We'll give you some information as to the exact time a little later on. All right? Nice.
And, Sheldon, while we're on this whole Leah thing, a lot of us... generally. But a lot of us, we talk with basically... I don't know, with haste and everything when it comes to the airlines of the Caribbean. You see, we must think strategically. We cannot afford to lose, right? Airlines like Liat or SVG that create that hub between these islands, right? Economically, it will be devastating, right? It will only benefit us as a country and as nations within the Caribbean, right? If we stick together and have Liat and SVG and these small providing transportation and doing commerce with the different islands, right? Yes, we may lose a little bit, in my view, right? And some of the leaders' view, like Dr. Mitchell, we may lose a little bit in taxes, right? But the end game, the bigger picture, is how much we'll be able to gain through tourism, through commerce, and through inter-regional travel by your own people. Good morning and welcome.
Yeah, Brother Sheldon?
Yes, sir.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Okay, so 9 o'clock for St. George Northwest. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. So that health fair will be for 9 o'clock on Saturday. So that gives you all enough time to go take your blood tests and them kind of thing, your pap smear and check your blood sugar, your pressure and all kind of thing. And then afterwards, you head up to Victoria Park for 3 o'clock for the cricket match.
For the cricket, yeah.
Yeah?
Come up in your numbers. We have everything in Grenville. Not in Victoria, Victoria Park, which is located in Grenville. Okay?
Yeah, it's going to be nice, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be nice. It's going to be nice.
Nice place to hang out.
440-7377.
And 347-329-3101. Good morning to all the bus drivers and conductors. Good morning to our police officers, the different arms of the security contingents of Grenada, and so nurses, doctors, teachers, wherever you are listening to us, good morning to you, and have a wonderful
I'd
day.
just like to briefly mention 2 things, Devon, because we have roughly 15 minutes remaining on today's program. One of them is the IMF report. I haven't gotten to go to the website yet and pull the latest IMF preliminary report on Grenada. But if we've been listening on the economic front, we've been hearing some positive news, continues to be positive news about Grenada. And while you have the individuals that are there shouting about agriculture, when you do have something taking place in agriculture, these are the same ones that are cussing it, because for those of you that continue to tune in online, when we're finished with the program, you'd hear the national report, and there's a program on the Renegade Rum Distillery. And if you see the amount of work that's going on there, that's an agri-processing business. That is agriculture-based. It's not people just go in and take the soil and take your soil, and no. They are planting cane, so it's agriculture-based. So you have agricultural workers, over 200 people involved in that program right now. Yeah, hundreds of acres of land under cultivation, and they're looking to extend into more. So with all of that, you have people talking about, they need to expand into agriculture. And when you do expand into agriculture, well, not that type of agriculture. You're expanding. You're doing an agricultural project. This is an agro-based industry. Yeah, to produce a high-quality liquor that is going to be sold on the international market.
Premium.
Yeah, it's not just going and make some type of rum and you're making rum and you're going and sell rum locally, and so it's a premium something, like when you go for Hennessy.
Yeah.
Or you say you're going and drink Crystal Skull vodka. Them kind of expensive kind of thing there.
Or Johnny Walker Black or Blue. Or,
Johnny Walker Gold. And all kind of thing. Gold. Kind of thing there. That's some gold flake and all kind of thing inside. It's not one of those kind of level of thing. That's what they're going to be producing here in Grenada. Yeah? Already 200 people employed with that particular
and
project.
Much more to come.
So the IMF has said that Grenada needs to look at, and that's been a consistent theme, even during the period of the NDC, it's been a consistent theme of the IMF that countries need to look inward, because especially when you consider the amount of money, and we're hoping to have the Honorable Oliver Joseph back with us soon, because remember,
very soon, yeah,
the negative $1.5 billion trade deficit that Grenada is facing right now. Spending over 200 million, I think it was, on poultry alone. Over 200 million that we're spending on poultry alone. So what the IMF is saying is that you can save money as a country and create employment and opportunity within your country and reduce on that. You wouldn't totally get out of that negative thing, because as a country, we will always be dependent on other countries for certain things. We don't have the space, nor we have the raw materials to say we're going and make cars here. So cars will have to be shipped from outside into Grenada. So you'll never end up in a situation that you're producing everything that you need locally. Yeah? So let's understand that aspect of it. But we can significantly reduce on our expenditure, the amount of money that we spend outside of Grenada.
Especially on food.
Yeah. If we produce some of the industries locally, and it does not have to be government doing it.
Nope.
It could be a consortium of businesses in Grenada. Let's say Jonas Brown and Hubbard's, George F. Huggins, let's say they get together with IGA Real Value and Andal and Associates. Mm-hmm. Let's say these 4 multi-million-dollar companies in Grenada get together and decide that they are going to fund a poultry farm that is going to provide local chicken, local duck, local turkey, and so to each of them? What is stopping them from doing that? Why does it have to be that the government must come and take taxpayer dollars and start something like that? Why can't these companies, because they are some of the key people that are selling the chicken that's coming in,
or even importing these products?
They are the key ones. So what is stopping them from saying, okay,
let's get
we
together.
are going to come together because we realize we can, if we do this locally, we will benefit because we will be the ones who are having a lower cost produce to be able to sell to the Grenadian people without having to go through having to get this thing out wherever it come in, Brazil and the United States
Barbados.
and so on.
And you know what?
Millions
of dollars we can close.
Yeah, because you're speaking $200 million. So if we could have that.
And that's money that's leaving Grenada on an annual basis. We can keep 3/4 of this money right here in this country.
Yeah. So what is stopping Jonas Brown and Hubbard's, George F. Huggins, IGA Real Value, and Andal and Associates? These 4 major companies. And if Carriacou and one or two of the smaller ones, SOG Foods and so on, want to become part of it, what is stopping these big companies from joining and starting a joint poultry farm? It's only going to benefit them, and it's going to benefit them and the country.
Because
does it have to be the government of Grenada that starts something like that?
Because the whole question of feed, they already have, I mean, these companies coming together, they don't have to look for feed outside or problems with the company here. They own the company.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's...
And even when it comes to the feed, remember, Caribbean Agro has said that due to the volume, that's why the price of feed is so high. But if they have a higher volume, the price of feed is going to go down. So the cost of production, even for those farms that already exist, the little Ian George and the other people that have their little farms, the price of production, even for them, is going to go down.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Immensely.
Because we, as Grenadians, eating $200 million worth of chicken every year.
Every year, think about that. So we can leave 150 million right here.
We could have built 2 hospitals with that money already.
Exactly.
We could have built 2 hospitals.
So think about that.
We could have built a new seaport. We could have rebuilt nearly every school.
Yeah, maintenance of all our roads.
Imagine that over a 10-year period, you're speaking $2 billion. $2 billion over a 10-year period.
Think about
in chicken. That is what we Grenadians eating, we importing. That is some of we bubbling right now for 12 o'clock.
Yeah. Just today alone, the amount of hundreds of pounds of chicken that, and most of it, if we 500 pounds of chicken cooking here every day, 450 pounds come from abroad. That's unacceptable.
What is stopping us from getting back into in a serious way? And it has to be a mentality change among us as Grenadians as well.
Yes.
There has to be a mentality change among us as Grenadians as well. When it comes to the amount of seafood that we as an island import, I'm praying. In fact, I'll contact the minister again to remind him to get the figures, to find out how much millions that we spend importing seafood.
Yeah.
An island, Grenada,
surrounded by water.
You look around us. We are shellfish. We have boats up in Petit Martinique and so that go out and bring in how much tuna.
Yeah.
So you talking tuna, you talking whatever it is you're talking, we have it around Grenada.
We have it.
And what we do have around Grenada, as a people, really and truly, if we're serious about it, we don't need. We can admit that. We don't need it. If we don't have it around Grenada, we don't really need it. But yet still, we spend millions. I am pretty sure it's millions. I know for a fact it's millions. Yeah. Because when you're talking about the canned tuna, we have tuna, we catching tuna, right?
Canned tuna.
But the canned tuna, right?
The mackerel.
Right? The mackerel that we bring in, canned tuna mackerel.
Saltfish.
Well, the main seller, millions of dollars. I know Grenadians selling. No, I'm going to say smelling.
Smoking. Selling, not smelling, selling.
Sorry. But Grenadians selling. I know.
Be careful when you put those two together, eh? Right? Be very careful. So, saltfish, smoked herring, tuna, mackerel. You understand?
Okay, remember, some people use saltfish as a part of our national dish.
Exactly.
Because some people don't eat meat. So imagine the millions of dollars that we spending every year for these cases upon cases upon cases of saltfish and smoke herring. And when Easter comes, it's like we're getting crazy because we must get
mackerel.
We must get the mackerel.
Yeah. You know?
Millions of dollars that we're spending every year for this thing.
And you talk about shrimps yet, you know.
Well, shrimp and them kind of thing. And Grenadians not so big on shrimps. That's one thing.
Not so much. We have too much crayfish. Real crayfish.
And think, but so big on that. But there are millions of dollars that we are spending on these things. We buying canned tuna, and we have tuna boats.
Yeah.
For silver, let me just say we, because that belongs to the Republic of Petit Martin.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But mostly all they catch is right down in Grenada.
Yeah,
they come down to sell.
We have an opportunity here to save our island over a 10-year period, a couple $billion of dollars.
At least $5, $6, $7 billion in the next 10 years.
Imagine from what we as a people spending right now overseas for chicken and importing chicken and importing fish, we could pay off with national debt.
Yeah, man. And we're talking about pork too, eh?
I'm sure where's the national debt, but wherever it is, we would be able to pay off the national debt.
Maybe twice too.
Yeah, we might even pay it off twice.
Yeah, I mean, think about it.
Just by the chicken and the fish that are being imported, which is why the Ministry of Trade is so important, and the wonderful work that's being done in the ministry by the Honorable Oliver Joseph and the Ministry of Finance in finding avenues and trying to get investors to come in and set up some of these industries locally.
Yeah.
Yeah? But does it have to be government? Why can't some of these individuals who have the money and have the ability and so on come to government and say, listen, we have the capital, we have the connections and so on, we want to do this. You know what we need? We need a plot of land to be able to do this. Vested in us. You can vest the plot of land in us, and if we do not roll out that project within 3 years, we do not start production, the land goes back to the government and people of Grenada.
You know, Sheldon, back in the day, I mean, a couple of years, not about 20, 30 years ago, things like importation of pig, rabbit meat, and this type of thing, that was never so in Grenada. Now we import. The amount of pork that we import, I mean, and things, we used to do these things here. What is stopping us?
Remember, the pigtail, I know you don't bother with them thing, but the pigtail and the pig snout and them kind of thing, and the pork cuts and so that you see being barbecued and all these things come from Louisiana and all these places. They come from the United States. They're not locally produced anymore. You have people that have the pig and they go and they slaughter the which you're not supposed to be doing again. It's supposed to go up in Grenville in the abattoir. But they slaughter and so when it's certain times in the year, especially around the Christmas time. And that is how that goes now. So we have to return to certain aspects, I think. And a lot of the people talking about we need to go back to agriculture, ask them how many of their children are involved in agriculture right now. Anytime you hear them, just call and ask them the question. Do you have children? Yes. How many are involved in agriculture now? Because they for themselves are saying, oh, we need to get back to agriculture. They understand the importance of it. And no one is saying that what they're saying is wrong or that they shouldn't say it. But at the same token, what are they as individuals doing?
Exactly.
Where your children? Well, that one teaching, that one is a doctor, that one out there.
All of them running away from agriculture.
Running from agriculture. So you need to ensure...
Charity begins at home.
Yeah. We can't be speaking agriculture and saying that we need to do this, and some of us don't lead by example. Yeah? Some people, they have the land, they don't have a backyard garden.
Yeah.
They say they ain't getting the children no sheep and no goat and thing to mine because they had to do that when they was small and they want to give the children those kind of responsibilities.
Make your son a man, more mature and yeah. I mean, come on, what is wrong with the rabbits and the goat and the sheep and everything like that? Try to get your children involved. That's part of agriculture. You understand? I mean, we are playing, in my view, we are playing games with a lot of things that we could do much better with. Right? We need to cut down on our import bills, and we need to start from the homes. Look at our eating habits. Change that. We need to do that. Right? Support more local. And then we supporting local, but for you local producers and everything like that, watch your prices also. Remember, if you want the support, you have to provide a good service, right? If you want people to support you, it goes both ways.
And I'd like to, for instance, I just got some information out of Carriacou there. The fiber optic cables, they've arrived in Carriacou.
In Carriacou, wow.
Yes,
I've
the
seen
fiber
them
optic cables that is going to improve the internet connectivity for the people of Carriacou. It's going to increase internet speed significantly. Yeah, Carriacou looking up and up and up and up. Because there are different avenues, and I think that's what the IMF is getting at. That one, by increasing these different types of agricultural, like a pointed thing, that you're looking at poultry, you're looking at the import of seafood, that if you look at these things, especially that you can, one, save your amount of money that you're spending outside of Grenada that's not going to be coming back in, and two, that money could stay in Grenada, create another economy in Grenada, and assist the Grenadian economy by providing jobs and opportunity and healthier food for Grenadians. So by doing that as well, you're also helping on the health end.
Exactly.
Because we know what they're injecting some of these things with outside.
Man,
we don't know what they're injecting it with
look
outside.
Look at those chicken that we getting, but then that's another topic.
Yeah.
But anyhow,
that's all the time we have today.
Javon say you want the sheep, eh?
Javon.
That's all the time we got.
Dudes, we'll get a sheep for Javon.
Yeah, sheep, and I go make sure you get it, boss. Trust me. Javon, I go make sure you get.
Javon need a whole cow with Javon going, not you need a cow, not a sheep. Folks, that's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. It's been wonderful being here with you, and whatever you say and do it safe and secure. We want to be speaking to and with you.
And not about you.
Love each and every one of you, and we do hope that you have a fabulous remainder of the day today. All right? Nice. We are out of here.
Peace. Nice.